I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaga Diamond. I am obviously on location, and no, that's not my trailer behind me. So we're going to have a great time because I have an author. Not only is she an author, but she's a lot more than just an author, and we're going to have her on the show today. I want to welcome Sheryl Ragland. I hope I said that right.
You did, you did.
Woo, girl, I did it, I did it, I did it.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey. So we're going to talk about you today. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. Okay, so listen, we definitely got to talk about you. How did you know that you want to write a book? I mean, what did you do beforehand? I mean, there's so many questions. Writing a book is so personal and it can be so lonely too sometimes. So tell me all about that.
Oh, how did I know I wanted? So it really predates me writing the book. When I was probably a teenager, I had the thought of writing a book, right? But then that sort of fear creeps in, like, who do you think you are to write a book? And your mother didn't write a book, and no one in your family has written a book. So why do you think you can write a book? And so it kind of started back then. Fast forward, I had a long career as an educational school principal. I retired and decided to start my own business. And 3.5 years ago, I got over the fear, right? I got over the fear, and I knew that I had something important to say to women. I knew that the things that I had gone through in my life was not just for me, and fear had sort of stifled me from telling my story. And so 3.5 years ago, I said, I'm telling this story. The world needs to hear it. I do have something to say to the world. And I released my first baby, Go For It. And it's a long story behind the book and the title, Go For It, why it even has that title. So it was always a dream of mine to write a book. Never thought it would come to fruition, but I released that baby. And since then, I've written 5 more.
You got me. You got me. 5 more additional books after that one.
Yes, because the thing is, once you get over that,
I'm so behind. Go ahead.
Once you get over that initial fear, with your mind and your surrounding and people telling you can't do it. Once you get past that, then the way becomes a little bit easier, right? And so after I wrote Go For It, I just kept going and then started helping women to write their stories. So it's something I enjoy.
I love that. Once you get beyond the fear, that's, I mean, I feel like sometimes you can feel incompetent and not able to do this. I mean, is there help that you can find? Maybe editors that can help you edit your book, get your idea better. I mean, did you go that route?
Yes. So although I felt like I was just a little bit smart, right? I was an educator and I felt like I was this smart. I was a little smart. And so the writing piece wasn't so much of the issue for me. It was, how do I then get this published, right? Who do I go to? How do I seek out help? Who's going to help me edit, right? Because I didn't necessarily have all of those connections. And so I had a very good friend named Yadida, and she helped me birth my baby. She did some editing in the background. She helped me with formatting. I had someone help with the book cover. So it's like, once you establish the connections, once you start networking and find people and folk to help you get past that stage of publishing, then, it becomes a lot easier. It's not something that you do the whole project on your own. And so I was blessed to have some good people behind me, where I did the hard work of writing, but they did the harder work of publishing it and putting the whole thing together, right? Because that's the hardest part. And so I held that baby in my hand and I was like, yes, my first writing piece. And it was a blessing, because I have nieces, I have friends that I grew up with. I came from a community where I didn't see people my color, people my age, people that look like me writing books. It wasn't something that I saw, but it was yet a dream of mine. And I said, I have to go after my dream. And so writing that book meant more than me just writing a book, right? Writing that book meant that I was able to pave the way for my nieces, for other young women, for young ladies that are coming up that desire to do the same thing, that came from a place like where I came from. Poverty. I came from the projects. And so it meant a lot to me. And when I wrote that book, I realized that I was not only writing a book, but I was operating in my purpose.
I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this with all wholehearted commitment. When you write that first book, and then you go for the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, because you're 6 books in, right? So when you go for that sixth book, what changes from the first book to the sixth?
Oh, wow, that's a good question. What changes? I think each time, for me, each book I had a special connection with. Each book, the title, I have one that's being released in another 2 weeks, is actually a collaboration. But I think each time there's some special connection. Unapologetically Me is a collaboration, but it really spoke to my heart because when I got the title for that book and began to gather women to write that book, it was bringing voices together. It was liberating women to tell the story. When I wrote Go For It, that was me telling my story. It became more freeing, I guess, to not only tell my story, but to bring other women in to tell their stories as well. So I just think that each time, for me, it's like a different connection. You connect with the book in a different way. You connect with the title in a different way. It sort of help you feel like you're fulfilling your purpose even more. And
Yeah.
so the first book for me, I was doing something that I really desired to do, to kind of put my stamp on it. Sheryl, you did this. And each time I do it after that, it's more meaningful because I'm helping other women tell their stories. And so it's like I'm almost removed from it, but like opening that platform for other women to tell their stories.
Yes, definitely, definitely, definitely. I find that a lot of people that watch this show do not see the relevance and the importance of watching the show sometimes because they don't see themselves in that
Mhm,
show. When you are watching people, when you're looking at episodes like this one and all the others, how do you see yourself in
mhm.
those interviews? Have you seen yourself fall behind? Like I literally watch my own interviews going, dag on it. I should have been doing that. So I mean I could see myself in those people's talk. How do you see yourself in your future? Like when people look at you or when you're looking at others?
So initially, like when I first started, you see everyone and they're speaking or they're writing books, and your first desire is like, oh God, how do I get to that place? Like, what do I do to get there? And then when you scale back just a little bit, you realize like they didn't get there overnight, right? The work that you're doing, you didn't get there overnight. It took some time. So then when I scale back and I begin to speak to myself, right? I had to speak to myself and say, Sheryl, you have to do this at your pace, right? So it's not this thing of competition. It's knowing your capabilities, doing it at your pace so that you can walk in your purpose and fulfill your passion. I can't do it looking at someone else because I'm not walking in their shoes. So I only can do what Sheryl can do. And so I've created this mindset that nothing I do will be for competition, right? I'm the best me that I can be. There's no other Sheryl and no one can do what I do better than me. So I operate in that model. I operate in, yes, I might see Miss Yaya Diamond, and she's doing great things, and she has that radio show. And oh my God, it looks so great. It looks so grand. I don't know what you had to go through to get to the place of where you are. And so that's what I would tell people. When you see those people who arrived and have major platforms and radio shows and writing books and coaching, the thing about it is that you don't know what that person had to go through to get to where they are. And so I would just encourage anyone who have a desire to fulfill their goals and dreams, regardless to what it is to scale back and do it the best way you know how to do it without getting caught up in the hoopla of seeing everyone else, because you can get caught up in that. And then
Oh
you
yeah.
can feel like, I'm not doing it right. I'm not doing it fast enough. Why she has 10 books and I only have 2? We get caught up in that. But when you kind of operate in your own purpose, then you're doing what's designed for you. And not only are you doing what's designed for you, you're going to reach the audience that's designed for you.
Yes, definitely. Oh, it is nice and raining outside. But definitely, definitely. I totally agree with you. You know, looking back, and now you had go for it.
Mhm.
Now, what else can we look forward to? Like you have 5 more books. So what are the titles of your 5 books? And then now you said to me just now, book number 7 is coming out. I mean, is this like okay, wait. Is this like something that you get hooked on, like you can't stop?
It is. It's like an addiction. It's like I hear some people say, I got one tattoo and then I just kept getting tattoo after tattoo after tattoo. It almost becomes an addiction, but in a good way, right? An addiction of how many women can I help? How many stories can we get out? How many manuscripts can we get published? How many people can I get to tell their story? How many people can I get to release it and not die with their story in their belly? Like it becomes that type of addiction. Like, yes, I got to go for it. I have to keep on going. And so all of the stories are not about me. Let's see if I have any books over here. I have some downstairs, and I think I have some in my room right here. But I have, this is an inspirational journal, empowerment journal for Go For It. Um, uh, Go For It is right here. So this was the first baby, and then this is the power of an overcomer. And then I have Blessed by Grace downstairs and Unapologetically Me. And I will keep going. I will. It's my purpose. It's
Yeah.
If I stop, I would not be walking in my purpose.
And I understand that. And like everybody has their own purpose, and no one should be jealous of anyone else's purpose. But we should all find ourselves inspired by the other person going after their dream to go after yours. And there might be something within that that you should be doing for your dream. Because I always tell people, I can't go my way if you don't go yours. Literally, if
Yes,
you didn't write Go For It, we would not be talking today.
that is true. That is so true.
And I tell people that all the time.
Yeah, to walk in your purpose. And so I'm ecstatic every time I lay down and I have a download of a book, and very strategic about which women will be featured in that book. It is it's what I love to do. It's my passion. And I say to folk, this is one of my quotes that I just love. It says, always strive to get on top in life, because it's so crowded at the bottom, right? It's so crowded at the bottom. Everyone
Yes.
is kind of at the status quo. And I encourage women, men, people in general, shoot, aim for higher. Let's shoot for the stars. Let's go higher, because everyone's here, right? Fear has gripped a lot of folk and they don't want to go for their dream. They won't go for it. Now is the time for us to go for every dream that is lying inside of us, whether it's dormant and we need to bring it alive, or whether it's a goal, a dream, or aspiration that you've always had. Like, there's no better time than now than to go for your dream.
You are so right. You are so right. So where can people find these books, girl? Like
Woo.
journal, Go For It. You got all these, and you got one coming out. You better talk.
Yes. So not only do I write books, I am the CEO of the Writing Coach Principles Academy. And that is academy where you can go through if you have a desire to write a book, if you don't know how to start, if you don't know what to do, if you don't know how to publish it, you can go through the academy and you can get your manuscript written. I'll hold your hand, coach you through it with my team, and you can have a published book. I am on social media platforms. I'm on Facebook at Sheryl Ragland on Facebook, Instagram at Sheryl Ragland on Instagram. My website is SherylRagland.com. And you can reach me on all of those platforms, and I will be happy to connect with you.
Definitely. Thank you so much, Sheryl. Don't you go nowhere, girl, because we got to talk after this. But I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in to Dream Chasers Radio. It has been such a wonderful day. It is raining out here, and I'm hoping that I'm not going to get wet. But Cheryl's here with me, and we just go hang it, girl. We just go hang on it.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, guys.
You so much for allowing me to be on your platform. I admire the work that you do, and keep on doing what you do.
I'm going to keep on going, girlfriend. I'm going to keep on going. And until next time, guys, don't forget to dare to be different. Hey, we're going to have all that information in the description box. If you're watching on Facebook and all, it's already there. If you're watching on YouTube, it's already there. So all you got to do is just go down and click on it and follow on Instagram and all that good stuff. Comment, like, get that book done today, child. Get it done. Until next time, guys, don't forget to dare to be different. Bye.